Well, it's wintertime, guys. Do you find that you are getting dry, cracked, itchy, red, irritated skin? Are you finding yourself slathering yourself with body lotion all over and you are still feeling dry? Then you may be using the wrong category of moisturizer. Today we're going to be talking about what ingredients to look for in your moisturizer to make sure you are addressing those skincare problems. Hi, my name is Christy and I am the owner of Go See Christy Beauty Boutique, and I have been treating clients with acne, hyperpigmentation, and help fighting aging, fine lines, and wrinkles for over 10 years. And today we're going to be talking about the right type of moisturizers that you need for your dry skin in the winter. So the first thing we need to address is if you have dry or dehydrated skin. And if you haven't watched our last video, it actually talks about the physical attributes of what dry and dehydrated skin looks like so you can address the skin condition correctly. So the first thing is skin conditions, just to clarify, changes almost on a daily basis, and it's dependent upon your age, the environment that you live in, your stress levels, your diet, what kind of products that you're using, as well as the environment that you are in, and hormones and a whole other array of things. Skin type is actually what you are born with. For example, if you have dry skin, or what's called alopecia without oil, people who have dry skin tend to have smaller, not as active sebaceous glands, so obviously they're producing less oil. But if they go to a part of the country that's very, very humid and they're sweating a lot and they see a lot of oily shine, now their skin condition is that they're oily, but their skin type is actually dry. So you have to figure out which one that you are as far as skin condition. So we're going to be addressing the skin condition. So factors in the winter, such as using the heater overnight at night or taking long, hot showers in the evening, can actually really dehydrate the skin. And actually, with the heat and water, it actually can leach moisture and rob your skin of its NMF, which is the natural moisturizing factor. Okay, so here are the three basic categories of ingredients that is used in moisturizers, creams, lotions, and balms to treat dry or dehydrated skin. So the first one are emollients. So emollients is actually a lubricant, and it gives the skin a smooth and soft texture, and it actually gives the product a silky texture. So basically you'll see this in lotions, in milk lotions in Asia. Those are really popular. So it's more of a watery substance, and those are emollients. And if you look at your ingredients list, some of the things that are more common that are classified as emollients is lanolin, which is basically it's a waxy sheep sebum. This is not great for breakout prone skin because it can be comedogenic. The second one is jojoba oil, and jojoba oil, even though it's looked at as an oil, it's actually a wax, and that is actually very close to human sebum. It resembles that. And the other one is isopropyl palmitate, and that's a thickening agent. They don't typically add any moisture to the skin, so if you're finding yourself slathering yourself with lotion and you still feel like after the product has evaporated, you still have dry, cracked, wintry skin, that's probably why. Because if you look at your moisturizer, it may be high on the emollient scale, but not so much on the humectants scale. So the second ingredient is occlusive agents, and occlusive agents sit on top of the skin. They don't penetrate the stratum corneum, and this prevents moisture from escaping. So again, this doesn't add any moisture to the skin. It just protects the skin from any additional moisture from escaping. And if you look at your moisturizers or your creams to see where in the ingredients list it's listed, some of the more common ones are petroleum or petrolatum. A byproduct of that is also mineral oil. This can sometimes cause bumps for some breakout prone people, so you may have to watch out for that. The other one is cocoa butter, shea butters. A lot of the butters tend to be occlusive as well. This also includes most of the oils that you see. So if you see some common types of oils, whether it be sunflower oil or safflower oil, any type of oils, these are also occlusive. So again, they don't add any moisture to the skin. Another very common one that you're seeing in almost everything, whether it's hair conditioners or anti-frizz hair serums, is dimethicones, so silicones. And so most of occlusive agents actually prevent TUL, transepidermal water loss, but dimethicones don't. They actually are permeable when exposed to water vapor. So the one that you want to look for is a moisturizer or cream that is high in humectants. So if you didn't catch it in our last video, we talked about hyaluronic acid, what the beauty industry does not tell you. So you might want to catch that to really understand humectants and how humectants work. But very simply said, humectants in moisturizers and creams, they actually have the ability to draw moisture from the air or the surrounding environment and bring it to your skin. So it's adding moisture to your skin. So humectants are what you want to see in your moisturizers. So a very popular one, as I talked about, is hyaluronic acid. And if you see in that video, you might catch that hyaluronic acid it's great, but it's all that it's not up to par as what people think it is, and they're paying a lot of money for it. So anyway, so humectants, one of them is hyaluronic acid or sodium hyaluronate, and the other one is glycerin that also brings moisture to the skin. So humectants are hydrophilic, which means water, literally means water loving, but basically what it is, it has the ability to attract water, and not only attract water, but keep it. Now, the thing with humectants is you have to be careful, because what it does is, if you're living in arid climates, what it can do is it actually can draw moisture from the lower parts of the skin to bring it to the upper parts of the skin. So in essence, it can be dehydrating your skin. So make sure that you do two things if you live in dry climates or you're in a drying environment, is that you use products that have occlusive agents. So you put on your humectants and then you add on top of that occlusive agents, or make sure that you look for a moisturizer that has humectants as a higher part of ingredients and maybe the occlusive agents down below. And for those of you who are breakout prone, you can just use a higher amount of humectant based moisturizer or cream. So here are some of the humectant ingredients that you want to see higher up on your ingredients list in your moisturizers, your lotions, your creams, anything that you're using to keep the moisture in. Aloe vera gel, sodium hyaluronate, hyaluronic acid, hydroxy acids, propylene glycol, urea, and glycerin. And although hyaluronic acid has been very much glamorized and publicized in the recent years, what you'll see in most of your lotions and creams is that glycerin is actually higher on the ingredients list than the hyaluronic acid, because it's more of a humectant. So that's actually more commonly used in your lotions and your moisturizers and your creams. Now, for those of you who have extremely dry skin or you have eczema, stay tuned. In just a little bit, I'm going to tell you about an additional ingredient that you need to look for in your moisturizers that's really going to help your skin condition. So if you're finding this information helpful, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Let us know that this is the type of information that you are finding helpful. And if you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you are notified as soon as our new videos come up. So here's a unique thing about glycerin. So glycerin is a humectant. What it has a unique ability that even if you wash the product off, it has a unique ability to keep adding hydrating properties into your skin long after the product has worn off. So that's another thing about glycerin that I really love. And when paired with an occlusive agent on top, it really can add to the hydrating properties of your skin. I will say though, at my actual store, we sell tons of our blue bottled hyaluronic acid. My clients swear that this thing works wonders. So again, I'm not saying to stop using it. I myself use it on a daily basis, but I do want to tell you there are other alternatives other than hyaluronic acid. So here's another pro tip that I just wanted to throw in there. To keep your skin from having tool or transepidermal water loss, avoid using hand sanitizers because that has a high amount of alcohol and that will dehydrate your skin very quickly. Instead, if you can, try to wash your hands, and while your hands are still moist, then add a lotion on there that has a high amount of humectants so that your hands won't crack. Because I know a lot of professionals who have to wash their hands a lot, just like me, your hands can get really dry and cracked during the winter time. So here is the final one, and they are ceramides. So ceramides are lipids that basically help make up the stratum corneum and help form the barrier of the skin. It's also oil soluble, so that's why it's added to a lot of moisturizers to help your skin and to help keep the skin's barrier intact. So for those of you who have extremely dry skin that's cracked, you have atopic dermatitis, or you have eczema, you might want to look for a moisturizer that has the balance of all three. Because sometimes what I have seen is when they tout that it adds ceramides to the moisturizers and they mark up the price, it has to have a balance of all three of these ingredients. So the three balance of these ingredients are not only ceramides, but free fatty acids and cholesterol. So make sure that when you're looking for moisturizers that you see this in here. So stay tuned for our next video where we actually evaluate some drugstore moisturizers to help you kind of keen in on what moisturizers that you need to take a closer look in. So remember, makeup is an art and skincare is a science. See you in the next video.